Like, how are you guys handling this? Because I can't. Like, they are hunting us down like animals. Like, and are you all okay with this? Just because we look this way? Just because of our names? Like, what? I'm so angry. Like, there is so much rage watching those videos of raids in construction sites, like on the street, and by Proud Boys, by white supremacists. They're hunting us down because we look this way, because we speak this way, because we go like. I don't understand how people are still defending this man. Like, I don't get it. Make me understand. Because I can't. I cannot wrap my head around you hunting people down because they look the way they look. Like, what?
Hello guys, welcome once again to the channel. Now, many Cuban Americans are crying out loud. They are saying Trump is really hunting them down. And they voted for Trump. And right now, when you're looking at how he's responding to them, he doesn't want illegal aliens, especially from Cuba, to live in United States. Is it another moment of FAFO, or it is just Trump being so determined to persecute these kind of people? Many people had their chance of voting and they were given that chance to really make the right decision that they thought would give them a better chance at living in United States. But then what happened? They decided to elect President Trump. Kamala Harris was there. She would not have been this abrasive on them. But then they elected someone who even before election told them that he is going to be very, very strong on border security. Right now, they are crying out loud and they are running away from Trump. And it seems they are very, very bitter about their ordeals right now. They are thinking black Americans are not helping them. But then, how can black Americans help them solve a problem they created for themselves? Take a listen to some of them in this video, then we'll talk in the end. Let's watch.
So I admit I regret my vote for Donald Trump. I regret it because I needed these changes sooner. I needed the prices to go down sooner so that I didn't drain out my bank accounts and go into crippling credit card debt, so that when I had an emergency, I had money set aside. So when my son's glasses break, I could actually get him new ones. I can't do any of that right now. My car broke down, and so I'm in a friend's car just to work, to continue living paycheck to paycheck. I knew it was going to be hard and that it wasn't going to come fast. I just wish that things would work out better. I really regret that everything is taking so long because there's so much pushback, because I don't even know the reasons anymore. I don't understand why good things have to be trampled on. I don't know why good people have to be trampled on. I don't want a lot. I just want to be comfortable. I just want to not live paycheck to paycheck. I just want to be able to live and work. I work 7 days a week to not even make ends meet sometimes, and I'm my car broke down and I have a few $1,000s worth of repairs to do on it. My son's glasses broke and I can't even take him to the eye doctor. I just want to get past the hard part. I want to get to the part where it's not just crippling. I know he's working on it. I know that it's gonna get better and that it wouldn't have been any better with anybody else. I just really needed things to start working again. They're still not. I mean, I owe more in taxes this year, which is just more debt that I can't pay. And I have to pay is just another $100 or so a month that I can't afford. So no, I guess I really don't regret voting for Donald Trump. I just regret that his changes didn't come sooner. I just need relief. I need the good things to start coming. I know it's coming. I just need it sooner rather than later right now. Good vibes, everybody. Thank you. And yeah, thanks.
Mi gente, I haven't done one of these in a while. Between the Cuban Adjustment Act and then when they started, when they took away their refugee status, I came on here and I talked about it again and I kind of make fun of them. But anyway, here's another one for the record. Cuban Americans take front and fucking center. Cubans for Trump. Front and fucking center. Let's talk about it, because I know you don't want to talk about it now, right? Now you're avoiding me at all fucking costs, right? And I think it's funny, but in the last fucking week, this administration has gone after you super hard. Super hard. Even those that have been in the country for a fucking while are getting detained and being threatened to be fucking deported. And he is coming after you. There goes the fucking articles. Because I know you're going to say I'm lying, but I'm not lying. And if it hasn't happened to you yet, it's just a matter of fucking time. Once he revoked your refugee status for you, Haitians and Venezuelans, right? Now you don't have the protections and that your ass is voted for, right? Do you remember all the videos? Your votes, voy a votar por Donald Trump. Right? Remember that? Remember that? Remember how many of you came to my page to talk shit? Who's fucking laughing now? Who's fucking laughing now? Do you think this would have taught you a lesson for midterms? Do you think it's going to teach you a lesson for 2028? I fucking doubt it. I doubt it. But I hope it does. I told you so. Again, I warned you. Now, here's the funniest thing about this video. This is the guy they call El Funky, and I don't even know who the fuck he is. But as of a few days ago, he was being threatened to be deported. And now, I'm not sure how he got out of it. But look at him. Does he fucking even look like he would qualify to be in the United States under this fucking administration? I think not. He should have known better. But sure enough, I think because he thought he was famous, Trump was going to accept him. And what did he say at your own town hall meeting? I only want you for your vote. Now you see how that works, right? But if somebody knows El Funky, send it to him, right? Because I don't even know who the fuck he is. But good for your ass. Good for your ass. Maybe you'll wake up now. Maybe all of you will wake up now And stop being a part of that colorism that makes you think the color of your skin makes you better than the rest of us fucking Latinos. Who's laughing now? Cubans for Trump.
This message is, though, for the Cubans for Trump. Actually, for all Latinos for Trump. The Supreme Court just revoked the legal status of 500,000 people from like Cuba, Haiti, Venezuela, I think, and then somewhere else. So you guys better start packing your shit, because they're coming after you. They don't care that you voted for them. They never cared about you in the first place, dog. We tried to tell you this shit, but you didn't listen. So now they're coming after you. Supreme Court just ruled on it. You guys better start packing, because they're going to either leave on your own terms now at this point, or they're going to come after you. You guys are in danger. And you voted for it. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, we voted for Trump in 2016, 2020, and 2024. We live in the Florida Panhandle, and we thought that this would be good for our business. But we're finding out now that we were wrong, and I want to publicly say that we are regretting our votes at this point. My husband and me own a construction company, and we literally do not have workers anymore. Most of our workers are from Mexico, and they're good, hard workers. I talked to a few of them, and they said they were just too scared to come back to work because of all the raids. Our construction company's likely to go out of business now, and we don't know what we're going to do, but we're never voting for a Republican again. Ron DeSantis and Trump have been passing laws that negatively affect our business, and I just want to say that I'm sorry for voting for him. I grew up Republican, and it's all I've ever known, but now I can see that me and my whole family have been very wrong about this. So we hope that 2026 comes and we can take back the House and the Senate and stop him from what he's doing. There's a special election coming up in Matt Gaetz's district, and we're going to do everything we can to advocate for a Democrat taking that seat.
It's a shame, and we feel, we can't help but feel for you, coming after Cuban people now. And all I saw during the campaign was Cubans for Trump. I will vote for Donald Trump. Remember that song? And this is not to throw anything in your face, because it is bad. It just is bad. Nobody deserves to be treated that way. And I don't know, how do you teach people? There was a lot of people trying to tell y'all what was coming if you chose this man. And a lot of you did. And it's a lot worse than we could have imagined, but we've always imagined the worst. You can't imagine or pinpoint exactly how it's going to go down, but it's not going to be good. And we as in not just black people, but those of us that saw through this administration, we knew, and y'all just didn't listen. You just did not listen. For whatever the reasons are, I think a lot of immigrants come here still tied to the old governmental ideologies and regimes and the ways that their governments were run in their country, and they're just looking for an easier or a lighter version of that, not taking into account that you're coming into a whole different world of government. Like, our government does not function, at least it didn't, the way yours did. But you throw away some of it, but you accept like this dictatorship mentality. And now you're finding out, and it's very sad. But stop coming on here fucking crying. That's the part that makes me angry. You ask if we're okay with that. No, we're not okay with it, but I certainly get angry when I see one of your crying faces coming up on here talking about what we should be doing, and we should, no. You can't uncook food. You've cooked the food already. The rice and beans are cooked. You can't uncook them and then try to put it someplace else. You gotta live with it. You gotta live with it. And the fucked up shit is he's not even sending y'all back to your home countries. That's the fucked up shit about it all. You didn't listen. You didn't want to listen for whatever the reasons are, and we could go back and forth about what that is, but you're not different in their eyes. If you've learned anything, I hope you've learned that. You are not, yes, it's because of your name, and yes, it's because of the way you look that sets you apart from them. And he played you. And he played you.
Now at 10, ICE operations continue in San Antonio for a second day in a row. Agents are seen arresting migrants at immigration court.
And look at this scene on the northwest side. 3 people who appear to be part of a landscaping company. They were taken into custody in this parking lot of the shopping center. Tonight, KENS 5 reporter Megan Reyna is following all these developments for us. Megan?
Well, Henry Easties, this is part of the Trump administration's push for mass deportations. We heard from 2 immigration attorneys who watched as their clients were taken into custody today after they showed up to their scheduled immigration hearings. Crying out, "I don't want to die in Honduras," an emotional mother taken by ICE agents at immigration court Thursday. Another mother also placed in the same van. Her husband says she has no prior criminal history.
Mis hijas esperándolos en la casa. 6 niñas tengo que dependen de nosotros.
But like most arrested, she had just had her case dismissed by a judge.
We were requesting a merits hearing, and the judge declined to set a merits hearing because DHS asked for the case to be dismissed and the client to be ordered removed, saying that it was not in the government's interest to hear a full case.
These videos shared to us show agents in the lobby of the immigration court waiting for migrants, one agent even holding what appears to be a list with pictures. Shortly after, you see agents escort an entire family into a charter bus. ICE says these arrests are a part of the Trump administration's plans to reverse former President Biden's so-called catch and release program. They are now utilizing expedited removals. It allows them to fast-track deportations for people who have been in the country for less than 2 years. These arrests are evoking fear among people who have upcoming hearings. One attorney who's representing a man from Central Africa says the option for migrants to appear virtually for hearings appears to be gone. Her client also had his case dismissed.
I feel like we portraying people who is here with credible fears. Just knowing his story, I feel like I let him down.
But
I thought they said they were going after criminals. Those are babies. Those are children, mothers, landscapers. These immigrants are showing up to their immigration appointments trying to stay in this country the right way. And how do they get rewarded for being upstanding, doing things the right way? They get set up and they get deported. Of course, they lied when they said you get to stay if you do things the right way and you're not a criminal. These are innocent babies between the ages of 9 and 12 being zip-tied like criminals, while an actual criminal, 34-time felon rapist, leader of our country, is pardoning other criminals, the cop killing Jay Sixers and Todd and Julie Chrisley. This is what a lot of you Mexicans and Latinos voted for. Not only are you failures, you are the biggest danger to yourselves, your own family, and your community. What an absolute disgrace you are, MAGA Latinos. They are rapidly deporting Black and brown people, many who are indigenous to this continent, while simultaneously importing white supremacists from South Africa, which is an entirely different continent for those who don't know.
Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying your Sunday. I know I am. Church was amazing. Now I'm back home in my chill zone, just relaxing on a beautiful Sunday. But while I'm sitting out here relaxing, I was thinking about something I heard over the weekend, and that was that the Supreme Court upheld Donald Trump stripping away the humanitarian parole from 500,000 people. Yep. They gave him the right. They gave him the green light. So now he gets to strip away the humanitarian parole rights from these people that was protecting them from deportation. But the even more interesting part of that story is that guess who was like the first country that fell up under that? The first country that was listed was Cuba. So, isn't that ironic? Because Cubans in Florida alone, Florida statewide, they voted for Trump 70%. They voted 70% Trump. Now, nationwide, the American Cubans, they voted 54% in favor of Trump. Right? So you had this overwhelmingly support from the American Cubans. That means overwhelmingly they voted and ushered this season in upon themselves. And that precious humanitarian parole was something that they held near and dear because it held them above other standards of other immigrants, right? Because they had that status, they didn't have that worry. So they just knew that they were protected as they were going into those booths to vote 70% Trump in Florida. Now, fast forward to today. Trump honors and thanks you for your 70% support, for your 54 nationwide percent support. He honors and thanks you for that overwhelmingly support by stripping away the very thing that kept you here. That kept you not just here, but kept you here safe. So safe to the point that you thought that it would get you special treatment. You thought it would set you aside from the ones that you thought he was talking about. Yeah. It's eerie to the point how much support he had to do this to you. That's the eerie part. You overwhelmingly voted for him to do this to you because you thought you were hiding behind one little title that left you immune to everything that you knew he was going to do. And you can't say you didn't know he was going to do it because he ran on it. Every rally had mass deportation signs all over the freaking place. He never missed a rally. He never did a rally without harping on his his bloody mass deportation. And you better believe it's bloody. It's just not being shown because the tattoos and the body marks that they're showing with these mask-covered ICE agents, look at those tattoos. They're tied to white supremacist groups. He has let his people go on you. That's why it's so quiet. That's why you haven't heard anything from any of them. You know why? They're too busy being sent out on ICE patrol. They're being distributed all throughout the country to be ICE agents. And now they're living their wildest fantasy. I heard one young Cuban woman came on saying they're out here hunting us like animals. They really are. They really are. But what the really sad part about it is 70% in one state, 70% ushered this in. Nationwide, it was still over half of y'all ushered this in because over half of you were not thinking about your community. Over half of you were not thinking about your people. Over half of you were not thinking about your own families, friends, your communities. You weren't thinking about that. You were thinking about self. You thought you would stay tuckly behind that fence. And it did. They wouldn't. You good because you got here the right way. Because you know you got the humanitarian parole. You ain't. That ain't your worry. So you went ahead and you voted because you thought it would not personally affect you, but you did not care how it would affect your people, your community. And now your community is, lashing out at us when they really should be lashing out at you. You brought this upon them. We didn't do it. We voted against 92, 80. We voted against mass deportations. Where y'all went as far as voting 70% for mass deportations. Let that sink in. And once y'all deal with those inside traders, once y'all handle them, once y'all show that smoke to them, maybe we will listen to something you have directed toward us. But right now, while you sitting up here getting your anger and your resentment and your frustration and your hatred out, and you just lashing it out at us, we ain't even trying to hear it. It's not affecting us. It's not piercing 1 inch because we know. It's just like they said, when you know you didn't do something to a person, when you know you ain't did nothing to a person, you don't have to worry about how that person feel about you. We know we didn't do this to y'all. Our numbers speak for themselves. Can you say the same? Can you say the same? And if you can't, you need to redirect your energy. You need to redirect your comments. You need to redirect your anger. This was a self-inflicted wound from your community. Our community did everything we could to protect you from this. But you're so much better than we are. You're so much more. We can't tell you anything because, you're too close to whiteness to listen to us. So you went out there on that limb and they chopped it off. So what you need to do, you need to get together with your own people. You need to quit getting on social media embarrassing yourselves, because everybody with half a peace of mind know this was a self-inflicted wound. And until you got that energy for them, don't come over here. Don't come over here. Don't come over here, because you're going to get your feelings hurt. But what you need to do is y'all need to go do some serious self-reflecting, and y'all need to deal with y'all own inner hate toward each other. Because it was a lack of care. It was a lack of love for their own that let them go in there and voted with the way they voted. So until y'all deal with that, don't worry about what's going on around here. We ain't worried about it. We were the only one. We were the only group that went in unanimously, overwhelmingly, 10 toes downly. We were the only ones. We ain't got time for it. We don't even want to hear it. We out here line dancing. We out here stocking up. We out here doing what we got to do. So I suggest y'all do the same. Anyway, before I get out of here, just one quick question. Cubans, the one that was voting for Donald Trump, yeah. Is it great again yet? Just asking for a friend.
Political governmental manipulation. Here we go again. So now the Cubans are going to suffer because the Supreme Court gave Trump the okay to deport over 500,000 people. And some of those people are going to be Cubans. Cubans are going back home. And listen to this. You know what I realized? So one government says, come on in, come on. You all are welcome, And they come in and that government gets elected because people are saying, oh my God, they're helping the Cubans. Fidel is doing them so bad, and here comes Biden, Clinton, all of them. Let's go. Let the Cubans in. Let them in. All right. So then they come in, and now they're going out. Right? Then also now, Biden open up the borders, let everybody in. Then Trump come in, they're going out. And innocent people that has been here, Now a light is shined on them. The political parties just use the people just for their benefits, and they don't care about the people. We see this time and time again. We see this time and time again. This is crazy. So now Cubans that has been here, has the protection of being here, because they flee, they're gone. Whatever they have established, families, whatever, gonna be broken up and gone. Back to a place that we know is hardship. Yo, this is just crazy. And the Supreme Court, that part, the highest court, one government said these people can come in and gave them asylum. Then the Supreme Court is saying, no, you can send them back. So what does that say? What does that say? Who do you believe? Not the government.
If you are Latino and your go-to phrase when asked about all the injustices that are happening with immigrants and with minorities in this country, if your go-to phrase is, well, I don't know much about it because there's nothing I can do and it really messes with my mental health, that is privilege, because the least you can do is be informed. The least you can do is grab your little phone that's already in your hand 24/7 and inform yourself on what is going on. That is the bare minimum. The injustices that are happening, the raids, there's just so much going on where not being informed is neglect. It's wrong. You cannot pretend that the world is a perfect place and keep on about your day because it doesn't personally affect you right now. This idea that because it's happening to others and it's not directly happening to me right now, that is why we are where we are. And it really goes for anyone. Being willfully ignorant is a choice. Because the same way, especially for other creators that use the Hispanic, the Latino card to get more followers and to get a platform, the same way that you can research lipstick colors and you can research the algorithm, you can research what is happening to your community, that same community that you rounded up to get you where you are and to get you money and to get you to the next step. The same way you can stand up. A lot of these creators, regardless of how big or small your platform is, are staying quiet because a lot of them voted for this. And it just shows people's true colors. And it's not come out and speak on it like you're an expert, but at least repost, at least talk about it, at least inform yourself. If you don't know, do the research. We live in a time and place where research is readily available. Talk to those who know more. It's not an excuse anymore, and it pisses me off.
Wow. I would say that I feel sorry for them because being hunted down is not a good feeling. Most Cuban Americans have been pro-Trump for many years, but then right now Trump is not having any mercy on them. They elected him, they have to live by them, and they have to live by the rules that their darling has created. Many Cuban Americans are reportedly experiencing distress under the second Trump administration due to a perceived escalation in immigration enforcement tactics. Despite historical support for conservative policies, particularly those aligned with Republican anti-communist rhetoric, Cuban immigrants have increasingly found themselves targeted by stricter immigration protocols. Under Trump's renewed hardline stance on immigration in his second term, agencies like the ICE ramped up deportation and detention efforts, even affecting Cubans who once believed they were protected by past US immigration policies. This reality has come as a shock to many Cuban Americans who expected favorable approach from an administration they helped elect. Historically, Cuban immigrants received preferential treatment under the new defunct wet foot, dry foot policy, which allowed those who reached US soil to stay and eventually become residents. However, the policy was ended under the Obama administration and Trump has not revived it. Instead, his administration has expanded enforcement and limited asylum protections, treating Cuban immigrants more like other undocumented immigrants. This shift has led to a rise in deportations and detentions of Cubans, including individuals with prior criminal convictions or even minor legal infractions. Many families have reported feeling betrayed as they did not anticipate this level of scrutiny and punitive action from an administration they perceived as pro-Cuban. The paradox lies in the political alignment of many Cuban Americans. In 2024, a significant portion of the Cuban American electorate voted for Trump, largely influenced by his staunch opposition to socialism, which resonates deeply with a community that fled Castro's regime. Trump's messaging about fighting leftist ideology was appealing to many Cuban Americans who feared any drift towards policies that might resemble the governance they escaped. However, their vote may have contributed to empowering an administration that has not made a distinction between undocumented Cuban migrants and other groups targeted by immigration crackdown. This misalignment between expectations and outcome has generated a significant disillusionment. Cuban Americans who are undocumented or have tenuous legal status are now facing a level of scrutiny and danger they did not expect from a president they supported. Reports of increased ICE raids, delayed or denied asylum claims, and rising deportations have amplified anxiety within these communities. Many feel hunted and insecure, living under the fear that they may be removed from the country they have come to see as home. The Trump administration's hardline stance, framed as a defense of national sovereignty, is affecting Cubans in a way that challenges the assumption that political loyalty would shield them from the broader consequences of these policies. In critically examining this phenomenon, it becomes clear that political ideology alone does not guarantee protection under authoritarian or hardline governance. The Cuban American community's experience under the second Trump administration highlights the risks of assuming that shared political values translate into preferential treatment. It also underscores the complexity of immigration policy, where blanket enforcement can override historical exemptions or cultural alliances. The distress now felt by many Cuban Americans is not just a reaction to enforcement tactics, but a broader reckoning with political choices that have produced unintended and painful consequences. They chose Trump, and the painful consequences that are coming with the Trump administration, they must have full enjoyment or full suffering from them. You can share your comments down in the comment section. And if you're watching us for the first time, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and also share. Thank you, and let's meet in the next one.